Hello there. What is going on, everyone? We have a very special surprise today. Armada Clone Wars spoilers. Yes, not just this image from the kind of lackluster Armada presentation at the FFG live stream, but we've got some actual spoilers from Fantasy Flight. Big thanks to BK. Brian dropped a couple of spoilers in the Armada Discord, and actual cards, actual game content. We're gonna run you through it. This was unexpected too, and it was just like, hey, it's Friday night, let's drop some spoilers. So we're gonna go through it all. I'm almost speechless because I'm so happy. So it's so awesome to finally get this. I wanted more information than this, but this is great because we actually have 4 cards we're gonna take a look at. So, with that being said, let me let you guys know also there is still time left to enter to win the giveaway for a $25 Amazon gift card. You just have to be a subscriber and leave a comment. I'll be announcing the winner for that this weekend, and I usually announce winners at the end of my videos, so make sure you watch all the way to the end. All right, let's go ahead and talk about the very first card that we've got here, Obi-Wan Kenobi. Of course, we've got to open up with my hello there man himself. Now, this is one of the art pieces that we did see spoiled. He's a commander for the Republic, 28 points, so not obscene, like very balanced cost, and he's a Jedi, right? He's got this ability, while a friendly ship is defending, when it spends a readied redirect token, it may reduce the total damage by 1 before it suffers damage. So this is a solid ability. This is... honestly, it's just really good. I feel like it's probably going to be good all around. Like, I would love this guy in the Rebels or the Empire. He'd be good in any of the existing factions. Now, there's obviously limits to how good I can say he is, because we haven't seen any of the ships yet. It could be, I'm guessing Republic ships are going to have, redirect. I'm guessing most ships are going to have redirect. But it's not a guarantee. There's probably going to be some ships that don't have redirect, but I'm guessing most ships will have at least one. But then again, if you're looking at a bunch of MC30s with 2 redirects, then that'd be awesome. But my guess is you're looking at probably, 1 brace, 1 redirect, 1 evade on some of the smaller ships, and maybe like the bigger ships might be a brace and 2 redirects, maybe. I think that's awesome. I think that's a really cool way to make something like a victory, which I would probably guess that a Venator would be kind of similar to a victory, a little bit. I could see it probably faster though, more maneuverable for sure. But yeah, so I could kind of see that making something like that way more survivable, and that's because of his Jedi stuff. So now it's only gonna work on when the redirect is green. It's got to be readied. Now it'll be interesting to see if there are other cards that come out for the Republic that are going to ready defense tokens. This certainly makes cards that do that better. So that much is cool. And of course you're limited by how many times you're able to, spend a green. So if you've got 2 redirects, then this is going to basically give you 2 extra damage per turn, which over the course of all of the shooting could actually add up to a lot of extra damage saved on your ships. And this also gives redirects additional use once your shields are down. I think that's an important point. We've already seen an officer that kind of does the same thing, and now all of a sudden it frees up that officer slot for something else. So very, very cool ability. It's something, I just think it's something great. I think the other factions are going to be jealous. Because he seems really, really cool. All right, next up, Clone Gunners. Now, this also is another piece of artwork, and it's funny because when I was talking about just the artwork yesterday, about how I would kind of think, hey, these guys are look cool. I wonder if they'll be restricted to only being Republic. This actually says clone only. Now, that is a whole world of, like, what's, right? Like, a whole world of what's. By the way, also, I do want to talk about this card does not look, like all of these cards, by the way, do not look like they're miniature cards. They look like they're full-size cards. Right? Am I the only one that looks at it and says, geez, these look like the icons, the iconography on them, they look small. It looks like they're going with full-size cards for the upgrades, which means I wonder if we're not in for a lot of changes to how Armada's, like, is Armada in for like an X-Wing 2.0 treatment, right? Like, maybe not that severe, but are we in for a resizing of our upgrade cards? I've got a lot of mini card pages that are going to go to waste if that's the case. Or maybe maybe these are just prototype images and they'll be resized. So that's like a big question I have of like, what's going on with these cards? They look like full-size cards. So Clone Gunners, clone only. Now, it doesn't say Republic only, so I wonder, is the faction of the Republic going to be called clones? Because there's obviously Jedi there. Or is clone some kind of sub-distinction from within the Republic, right? Like, I mean, obviously, I would imagine most capital ships are going to be manned primarily by clones. So that's interesting that it's called clone only. But it has, this is a gunner. This has the concentrate fire command. When you spend a concentrate fire, you can activate this ability. You may discard one concentrator fire token assigned to another friendly ship at distance 1 through 5 of the defender. If you do, add a blue die set to the accuracy icon to your attack pool. So this one is really nice. So it's a guaranteed accuracy as long as you've got a concentrate fire token on somebody else that's at least in the fight. That's really cool. And it's only 4 points. It's actually fairly cheap. The problem is, it's not gunnery teams. Which, again, we haven't seen the ships, so I don't know if like how crucial this is going to be. We don't know how crucial tokens are going to be. We don't know how much tech the clones are going to have to generate tokens. We don't know if they're going to have a flotilla at start, because CommsNet is one of the easiest ways to generate tokens. So we don't know what kind of flotillas these new factions are going to have. We don't know what their token situation is going to look like right away. A lot of the most common token generation stuff, whether it's CommsNet, I guess Hondo is also available for all factions. So you could potentially have Hondo Anaka, which actually would also be thematically appropriate. So we've got Hondo. We've got just certain other things, like, I mean, natural token generation. But I like that they're coming up with new and clever ways to use tokens. This is actually a really good way. A guaranteed accuracy is huge. So, and even if you don't need the accuracy, you can still do it because you're still getting an extra die in your attack pool, which could then, in turn, be re-rolled. Also, this is, well, I guess this is restricted to once per attack because you can't do 2 concentrate fire abilities. So, yeah, you're only going to be able to do this once per activation. So there is that. Unless, of course, there's something that lets you activate the same command twice, which, I mean, that'd be a major rule break. So who knows? But it certainly looks like this is a once per activation thing. So, hey, it's an extra blue die. But what's amazing about this is you're getting an extra blue die from your gunnery team, right? From your weapons team, rather. Which, I mean, that's not even counting anything that you might potentially get from turbo lasers or ion cannons or whatever. So I kind of like that, man. That's pretty cool. We've got Kraken, 30 points, so a little more expensive than Obi-Wan Kenobi. And this one is our separatist, and he's got once per activation while a friendly ship is attacking a ship. If another friendly ship is at close to medium range of the defender, the attacker may change 1 die to a face with any one icon and no other icons. So I'm immediately kind of thinking a little bit of Screed. Like, but I mean, it's not exactly Screed, but he's a commander who's going to guarantee you a crit, but not a black crit. Specifically, not a black crit. So you can guarantee a red crit, you can guarantee a blue crit. And he's kind of borrowing some of that synergy we saw before of like making sure another ship is close by. I definitely think that my guess based on this is like that's a theme is teamwork. I think is teamwork is going to be a big theme for what we've seen so far. So maybe that means we're going to see cheaper ships and more ships. Maybe that'll be something that makes these factions more appealing. Their ships may be a lot cheaper. Maybe it's the upgrades that are going to take up most of the points. That's a possibility. Like a lot of how many rebel, how many like 2, 3, and 4 ship builds do you find? Maybe the average here is going to be 4, 5, and 6 ship builds, or 5, 6, and 7 ship builds. Maybe 7 ship builds will be very common, amongst. And you can get that in Rebels and Empire too, but they're less common. That might be like the standard, for clones and separatists, or maybe not. I could be totally wrong. I'm really trying to grasp at straws here because all we got is these 4 upgrades. So this is our first separatist upgrade. This will be I'm assuming This will be our launch commander for the Separatists. So close to medium range, right? So close to medium range is what they want here, but you can't guarantee the black crit. So this kind of implies a little bit of the strategy. I'm guessing blue dice at close range is kind of the sweet spot here. Maybe blue crits. Maybe, that kind of goes along with ion cannons and the malevolence having the ion cannon. That could all be, it could be that Separatists are really big fans of blue dice. That could be a thing. Especially because he's 30 points, so he's not exactly cheap, especially when we've got great new commanders for only 20 points in the other factions. So, and again, this is another once per activation, but this one is specifically spelled out as once per activation. So a friendly ship is attacking a ship. You got to have somebody else also at close to medium range of the defender. Now, this will work really good if you've got one black dice, heavy ship that moves in first, that isn't going to need this ability. Then everybody else, comes in like maybe later. There's that kind of stuff. It'd be kind of interesting. And then we've got Wat Tambor. Wat Tambor is our officer, and he's 5 points. And our little Techno Union guy, 5 points. He's got the engineering command. Or when you do an engineering command, you may spend up to 2 shields from any of your hull zones, or any one hull zone of another friendly ship at distance 1 to 5 to gain twice that many additional engineering points. Now that's a lot to digest. So first off, let's break off. I'm just going to use the first example. You can spend 2 shields from a hull zone. Let's forget about the ore right now, and then we'll come back. You can spend 2 shields from any of your hull zones. So just 2 shields at all on your ship to gain twice that many additional engineering points. So why would you want to spend 2 shields to gain twice that many engineering? Because if you spend 1 shield, you'll gain 2 engineering points. If you spend 2 shields, you'll gain 4 engineering points. Well, getting those shields back costs that same number of engineering points. There's a couple of reasons. I could see like a corner case, like a really weak case for doing this might be I've lost all my shields in the front and I've got, 4 shields in the back, but all I've got is an engineering token. So that all right, well, here's what I want to do. I want to spend an engineering token that's going to get me maybe a ship that only has a low engineering value, right? Like that may be something. Separatists might have very low engineering values on their ships. Maybe I've only got engineering value of 1. So a token still gives me 1, but now I can spend, 2 shields to basically he can redirect. He's better at redirecting if I want to just, eat shields in the back and replace them on the front. Or if I need to redirect, maybe I've got like 5 or 6 shields on the left hull zone and nothing on the right, and I want to redirect them all. Okay, well, now for like the cost of 1 shield, which is going to get me 2 points, and in my 1 engineering, I can now transfer 3 all the way to the other side. There's ways of kind of making that really count in a corner case. But I think a bigger thing might be criticals. I think crits might be one of those things that makes this a little more important, because we don't really know how criticals are going to be with this game. Maybe there's a lot more critical-based effects. Because another thing you might want to do with those engineering points is to repair hull damage, which costs 3 engineering points per. So if you've got an engineering value of 1, you can pop that command token, eat 1 shield, and then repair a hull damage, a face-up card even. And because it's 3 points whether it's face down or face up. But now let's go back and read him again, ignoring the spending up to 2 shields from your own hull zones, from a friendly ship at distance 1 to 5. So you can have 1 to 5 is far away. So here's the thing: you can have a ship real far away, maybe like a little flotilla, kind of playing safe, that's feeding you shields. For 1 token, you can spend 1 shield from him, get twice that many points. So now 1 token is going to give you plus 2 points just by eating a shield from somebody far away, like a power transfer from that other ship. That could be the value of a card like this if you're, especially if there's other things that synergize with this. On its own, it requires a little bit of setup. We don't know how easy it's going to be to get tokens. We don't know how easy it's going to be to have, a ship kind of flying safely over there, or what kind of ships they have. Like, are they going to have small, cheap ships that you want flying safely away? Or are you putting like a whole cruiser out of the battle? Like maybe that's something you don't want to do. I can imagine this is a really good guy to have on your flagship, though, the ship that cannot die. You know, he seems like he would work really well with like a General Grievous type mentality of like, no, feed me all of your shields, everybody. We must protect the general, right? I'm getting that kind of. What are you barking at? I'm kind of getting that kind of feel. All right. So, kind of interesting. I think Obi-Wan Kenobi is my favorite out of all of these, although I really like the Clone Gunners. I'm probably going to be more of a Republic player. But the Clone Gun, because they're giving you a whole die. I mean, that can be re-rolled if you don't need the crit. Or if you do need the crit, or whatever, or maybe you've got other crits too. You know, you can re-roll the other crits. I mean, there's just so much. This is a great card. But I really like Obi-Wan too, especially because of the fact that once your shields are down, he's still making every single one of your redirects still reduce a damage. Love it. Absolutely love it. Super great. Obi-Wan's going to be a tough one to beat. I like it. I like it a lot. Okay, so that's our Clone Wars preview, guys. We finally got some actual substance. I was kind of hoping for, like, are we getting a core set? Are we getting an Essentials kit? Are we getting, 2 different core sets? Like, are we getting a Republic core set and a Separatist core set? How is the structure of all of it going to work? And maybe even a preview of some of the box art or what the ships are going to look like. But I'm happy with what we got. And I'll always be happy with what we get as long as this keeps coming in, because the future is very bright, my friends. All right, well, that's all I've got for you today. I want to thank you all so much for watching. Stay tuned. Click that subscribe button. Click that bell for alerts. We got new shirts in, too, so they should be on the down. You should see pictures of them floating around there. And these are for the Double Critical shirts. For Double Critical Podcast, it's a podcast that my friend Sean and I have started up, and we're talking about like wish list ideas, and it's primarily Star Wars Legion, but let me know if you think that you wouldn't mind seeing some Armada talk, or and seeing it branch out a little bit at some point. Might be fun. All right, guys, that's all I've got for you today. I want to thank you all so much for watching. Big thanks to my patrons as well. You guys definitely help support this channel. If you are interested in supporting the channel, there's all types of links in the description below. You can find merch, you can find links to Patreon and other social media. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and as always, have a great day.